welcome back. Okay, so today we're gonna get the rest of this sorted out. I did start an extra little project here. I had a friend give me 2 cap and ball pistols that were pretty rusty. He had said they sat in a barn in a carpet bag he had for quite a few years. So I'm gonna try to recover them. They got pitting. Ooh, look like a Range Rover in some spots. So anyway, fun little project. We'll get those running again. And oh, and he gave me a cap and ball like from the 1830s. So these are replicas. They're not legit historical pieces. And I wouldn't have dry fired it if it was. All right, that's what we're gonna do next. Got a little chore first, but then we'll get started. Oops, there it is. Okay, welcome back. All right, so we're on to the wiring portion of our diagram, dun, 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 which we've already talked about a few times. I've got some new tools and some new stuff to sort out on this. I bought a fuse block at the recommendation of a friend, Mike, who has all the Jaguars. Anyway, he said, yeah, that's probably a good idea. And I thought, you know what, it is. Because if a surge comes in from the power, I don't want to pop my lights or damage the lights. So I'll put this between the power and my wiring, so that will alleviate any risks there. So it's positive on one side, negative on the other. I don't know which side is negative or positive as far as my terminals, so I'm gonna have to go look at that. And there's 6 on this side and 6 on this side, so I'm gonna guess positives here and negatives here, but I'll wire something up and check it real quick. I also have my power distribution blocks. Apparently I'm not gonna need these so much because I have this. So, but maybe I will, I don't know yet. And I have a negative one also, so the other side's negative. So I've got all of that. All right, so I bought some 16, 14 gauge butt connectors.
Hold on to your butts.
And so those will be squished and make good connections. I got a stack of ring connectors, which now that I'm looking at this right here, they are the wrong size. So we'll do something else there. I bought those for this, not for that. Yeah, that's a disappointment. That's gonna limit my ability to get some things done today. Just now noticing that. So do I look surprised? Yes, I am surprised. And then we also have our diodes we've got to get lined out too. So first thing I need to do is think through this layout. Layout. Where's the layout? Right over here. First thing I need to do is think about this layout again and how this all goes to here. And then lights, magic happens. Okay, I'm gonna play with my layout here and then I'll come back.
A few moments later.
Okay, I found a little set of 4 amp bus fuses so I can test it with those. I'm going to use the lawn battery 12 volt because I don't have a benched power supply. So we're going to do it this way. So I can do that. So we'll get one wire over here to our negative. And we'll just lightly, gently crimp that on there. So that will be in place. Oop, we need some more tiny turnages. Turnages complete. Nice. All right. So negative's in place. So I'll just put that on there. We'll give it a little twist so we know it'll make good contact. And then I have a couple of alligator tips alligator clips. My dad built this. I mean, it's amazing how much of his stuff I still use today. And my black alligator clip is not big enough to grip it. Ah, that worked. Okay. So now we're on positive and negative. So there's current. There's electrons flowing in here. Let's get our handy dandy multimeter out. We'll figure out how this is wired internally. We'll get some voltages here. We'll use 20. Okay, so from between, this is going to be something here and here. Hey, there it is. Is there voltages here? Yes, there are. That's interesting. So these are all connected to these, apparently. Is that connected when it's not connected? No. That's weird. All the negatives are all negatives. So the negative side is just like... How is that going to work? So if I put current here, so if I put a connection here, I can put its baby sister anywhere else on this bar, because that has the same reading on all of them. So that's as good as that. Yep. Okay. Cool. Okay, so I was worried I'd have to number them because they're numbered 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I'd have to label these as well. But if they all go somewhere over here, it doesn't matter how I wire those negative sides up. That's good to know. That's helpful. Okay, so let's put a couple more in and confirm our theory. We'll put another 4 in this one, and another 4 in this one, and another 4 in this one. So we're all over the board here. Okay, positive to negative. Yep, 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 yep. Next one, blank. Nothing, 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 nothing. Good. Yep, yep, okay. Theory is confirmed. My tests are all 100%. Okay. So I know how this works. Mission accomplished. All right, we have quite the dilemma. I went to a lot of effort to get good quality product. I mentioned it before. I bought the crimps. I bought the crimping pieces, but they're too big. From Waytech. Do I go back and buy more and put this project off yet another week? Or use the crappy ones I have in my crappy container? And God only knows where they were made. I guess China. I have a good crimper, so I'm not worried about the crimps. I did buy a fancy new crimp tool at the suggestion of Mike. Oh, ah! Decisions, decisions.
Whichever you decide, I'm sure it'll be the wrong choice.
Okay, let's get started. I'm gonna use the crappy connectors. I don't like it, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
As long as you didn't roll over and cry yourself to sleep with regret, then we're good, right?
All right, all the whites, which are all the 86s, which are white, 86s go to ground. So we just need to crimp a connector on each one of those, mount them to that, and we're good to go. So let's get that started. right. Remember, kids, I'm not an electrician. I just play an automotive electrician on television. Or on your phone. That's what you watch. Ah, nice connection. It'll do. All right, let's do the rest. I'm going to twist it, and that'll make all of the little all the wires kind of bend around each other. I'm folding it, and then I'm slipping on my connector, and the connector has to be poking out up here, so I want to see it before I crimp it. So here we go. And we put the crimp tool on it square, and crank it down. I think I should crank both corners of it down. And I remember my dad doing it twice, so we'll just come up here and we'll do that into on both of these, just for giggles. I feel pretty confident those are going to be very good. All right, 2 more. We already have mosquitoes, kids. It's probably 80 outside right now. It's the last day of February and it's 80 outside. And that one fell out. Perfect. Try again. This time we'll hold it instead of being an idiot and drop it out. We shouldn't have done in the first place. All right. Got it. Good crimp in the front. Not sure I like the ratchet ones. All right, feel pretty good about that one. Twist and pull and drop. What was I doing earlier today? You don't know what time it is, but it's later. It's after 3. I stopped today and I swapped out the fluids in my F-150. I did an oil change and, oops, get in there now. Oh, see, look at me. I did an oil change and I also changed the transfer case fluid because it's got almost 200,000 miles on it and I don't think it's ever been changed. I think I asked the dealership to do it, but I don't remember it again, and I don't have records of that, so we're going with do it anyway. Oops, that's not right. Stop, mob. Oh, come on. Stop playing with me. All right, let's call that good. All right, 4 whites in place. Maybe I shouldn't talk while I do this and just do it fast. All right, so you got the gist of the crimping part. Let's get these connected. 4 of them. Okay, that is lovely. This is going to take forever. Okay, so the next one we know the positive on is the 30, which is definitely the positive side. So 30 on these are positive, 30 is black, so black goes to positive. Yes, I know, that seems counterintuitive, but we're wiring relays here, kids. Let's get with it. Mrs. Okierover's leaving. Wiring? What are you doing? You about to bail?
Yeah.
Wiring the lights to the Range Rover. Did you see the finished job on that? Okay, sun's leaving. All right, now we got to get the blacks connected. We need some positives here. Okay, got the positive and negative to our relays set. So the rest of this action is the blue and the yellows, which go to alternately various sizes of, not blues, sorry, blue is out. Blue is non-negotiable. We're not using blue. I probably ought to just go ahead and cut those off, but right now I'm leaving them there. All right, so now we're on red and yellow. Red is on the 87 side, which comes from the switch, so comes from the light. So this comes to, or goes to the light, let's be accurate. This goes to the light. So red, 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 red goes to the light. That's easy peasy. Okay, so the light has a negative. So the wire that comes in from the light will go onto onto this negative post right here. So we'll hook those all up to negative, and then we'll have the reds come in from the light. What's left is the yellow, which is 85, and that comes from the switch. So the switch needs to be hooked up, and we can hook these to the switch. Now, if you remember, we want to build a system where we can turn on, let me get my switch. Lovely. All right, so we're building a system. All right, so we can turn on the lights individually. Okay, so I can have all three of the lights in the back turned on, or I can hit one button and turn them all on. Ooh, ah, yes. So one of the switch relays goes to that light, and in my diagram, this is how it gets done. The diodes connect to those other three wires. So we've got to figure out how to connect that switch to all these diodes to go into the 85s on those others, which again, 85 is yellow. So we have a diode, and I'll have to sort that out in my brain before I start doing it here. Okay, so the diagram shows us that we need to connect all three ends of the diodes to the switch for the where are you? Over here? All right, this is this part right here. Okay, so we need to connect all three of these to the switch side. So that's going to be coming from the switch. But then each ends of these on the anode sides have to connect to the 85s, which if you remember back, 85 is yellow. So here's my yellows, okay? So yellow goes into that side. So that also goes to the switch on all of these. So I'll need a way to connect all three of these. Well, was I way over here and you couldn't see it? All three of these to the switch side, yet making these all go to the yellow side. So that's a challenge, I think. So I'm working on that in my head. I think this side's going to be a solder. That's an easy one. But how do I mount this so it doesn't go crazy? If I had a little circuit board, I could just put those in there and then solder them together. I might need to make a little circuit board. All right, that's what we're thinking about. Okay, so the diodes come in from the master switch that turns everything on. Are you seeing this? This goes to the master switch, so big switch. This goes to the other switches. So I'm going to connect those into the other switches. I think that's right direction. Yes. Okay. So those should be the other side of the switch. So all of these are the other side of the switches, which are back here, the white ones right here. So those will go to the other side. All right. So I can crimp those like this and get this side connected. I'll slip some heat shrink over it and get it all sorted out once I connect it to a jumper that would go to the light switch. I don't know how far that jumper needs to be right now, but I'm just gonna put a large length of wire on the end of it, and then I'll crimp that on and we'll heat shrink these so they don't do silliness outside of the design. All right, let's do some crimping here. And I'm wondering if this crimper is gonna do the job. We're gonna do it on the red. No, we're not. This might get some solder too. That is janky. I'm not excited about that. It's not very good. Very not excited about that. All right, we're gonna use some of this red wire here for our long jumper. Let's get a wire stripper. Clippity clip, clip, clip. I wonder if we're gonna solder. Probably ought to. Brain tells me to solder. Oops, wrong size. This is 14 wire. Twist. Trim. Yep, we need to trim that. Nippers, no nippers at the table. We need to get our length of heat shrink ready too, because we ain't put that on yet. Length, not quite so long next time, about half that, Eric. All right. It's gonna go in there nicely. Yep, okay. Let's get some heat shrinkage. We'll use red, because we can. All right, we'll use red and we'll use a lot. We'll go all the way down to there. We'll call it there. So we need 3 of those. All right, I'm gonna put that way back up on here, so we're not worried about that being in the way. And insert that in here and get a crimp on it. Boy, I don't like that. Something tells me that's dumb. Yep, the release is supposed to release. Ow! I didn't feel that release very well. All right, then we'll put our heat shrink way up on there. Get out of the way, yella. Okay, that's good there. All right, so we can shrink that down. Are we where we could test this? What would I need to do to test this? I need to put my light power here. I'd need to connect this jumper to my switch and my power and my switch to be powered. We could theoretically test this. That might be fun. Who's up for testing? 87 is red. Red goes to our light. I'm going to give myself a foot of this just for giggles, because I can do it again. All right, let's get a little bit of this off of there. All right. This goes to our switch. Let's get our switch over here. We'll just use the first one because we can. And we're ready. And we'll just marry those together with a clamp, just because. We don't damage anything. We'll just crimp those together. There we go. I'll get that out of the way. All right, those have made a connection. All right, so that's connected. I need power to my switch. So we'll do that. We'll use our alligator clip plan again. We'll use the red alligator clip to the red alligator power positive over here. And then we'll use our other wire that was negative. I have another negative wire. Get it all the way over to there. Nope. Use this one. I don't remember which one I used. Yeah, this is it. All right, we'll use this one for our other negative. Does it feel a little dangerous? Yeah. All right, need another clamp. There's no power in here yet. And if we break anything, we can always replace it. So I'm not terribly worried about it. All right, so positive, positive, negative, negative, negative. Those are going to be connected together there. I'll pull that over here. Okay, so now I need one. Okay, my one switch is connected to this one. Okay, and now I need to go with that going to positive. It does. So I need to connect the battery to here, and then a light needs to be plugged in to 30, which is black. Is that right? No, 87. And then the light needs to go to ground. So 87 is red. So the light goes to red. Do we have a light? We have a light. Let's go get a light. Well, shoot. Okay, I'll have to go help my niece move into her new apartment. So it's been a few hours. And I had my battery plugged in, and it was sitting there, and I guess it ran to dry, or ran down to 0 while I was gone. I don't know why that happened. That's a disappointment, because that's the tractor battery for the lawnmower, and I kind of need it to work. So, all right, so I'll have to charge the battery, which it's over there charging right now. Well, it looks like it's full, which is weird. Anyway, another reason why I needed a bench power supply. All right, so that's where I'm at. I'm gonna have to do this tomorrow. To you, it won't be like tomorrow, but to me, it's tomorrow. So, what is it now? 8 o'clock? All right. Ah, man, I wanted to do this tonight. Dang it. All right, so we'll do it tomorrow. That's all I got. All right, talk to you tomorrow.
Day 3.
Okay. Day 9. No, just kidding. It's Monday. I didn't get to work on this Sunday because Saturday we went and helped a niece move, and that was brutal. And so Sunday was mostly a half of recovery day, and then we went grocery shopping, and our in-laws came over, and I had to clean the house. There you go. All right, but we're back at our project. We're gonna wrap her up today, I think. There's gonna be one of two outcomes here shortly.
I'm not a smart man.
I am the smartest man alive!
All right, let's test it. Okay, what have we got set up? What do we got? All right, we got power. Can you see all of this? Yes, okay. I've connected my battery to the terminals. So they are both going in here. This is a mess. This looks like a mess. It's worse than my experiment. Anyway. Okay. Power is in the terminal. I have a 15 amp fuse installed in the block. I have a switch wired to a relay. And as soon as I connect the light to so the light needs to be on positive and negative. Here's positive in, comes in on red, and then negative goes out to the whatever, negative over here. So I can pinch those two together. Don't let those touch. And if we turn this light on and light happens, whoa!
Smells like victory.
I'm so happy. That worked so well. Woohoo! All right, magic. Okay, so I've proved this all can work. Now all I have to do is figure out how to wire in the 3 diode thing into the 1 switch. Click, click, clickety, click. So when I wire this all up into the truck, we'll be all set. I cannot be more happy. All right. Well, thanks for the journey. Thanks for watching me piddle and fart around with this for so long today. All right. Awesome. Next step, put it in the truck and light some lights. Thanks for tuning in. Yes.
I thought you might want your phone.
Oh.
Do not put me on.
I'm not putting you on.
I'm not in my yellow dress, or
You're
my
not-
hair's not done.
Your yellow dress.
Yes, that thing you showed, AI.
The AI picture. Oh, now I have to put the AI picture in. Come here and watch what I did. So I wired it all up. This goes in the truck. These are the relays. And when you flip this switch, light happens.
Yay, are you excited?
You have no idea. The smile on my face is because I'm so excited.
Yay, good job.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
so smart.
Oh, I wouldn't go there. But trial and error. I'm pretty good at trial and error.
You are?
Okay, there you go. Mrs. Okierover seal of approval. Like, she'd never drive in that vehicle anyway, but that doesn't matter. Okay, I'm gonna leave this. Actually, I'm gonna disconnect the power from it because that's what we're gonna do. And we are going to be able to put this in the truck now. So happy, so excited. All right, let's get this lawn battery back on the charger. We got to cut grass in probably 2 weeks because the weather we're having is crazy. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. You should have seen the subscribe button early on. My daughter told me to do that. Okay, that's it. Where's the thing?